and gentlemen, today we're reviewing a 2016 Toyota Hino 268, and no, this is not a joke. This is a diesel moving truck powered by a 6-cylinder turbo diesel V8, cranking out 220 horsepower, 520 pound-feet of torque. You guys are used to sports cars, I know, but my buddy Luis here, business owner, has a moving company. He's like, yeah man, review my truck. I mean, look at this drive shaft. It's rear-wheel drive, of course. These leaf springs. Everything's so exposed. See the exhaust right here. So we're gonna tell you what it's like to drive one of these. I came here to a 2022 G08E-WU, so I have a feeling it's gonna be a little bit different. You got these steps going up and these handles. Oh my God. 6-speed automatic transmission. So we're getting our seating position, and compared to a sports car or even just like a CUV, first thing is that the steering wheel is like, it's like a pizza laying flat on a table. There's like barely any angle to it. Kind of like a stereotypical school bus, if you remember that. A lot of visibility, big windows. You're really looking down quite a bit. You're super high up. This vehicle weighs, I think it's like 10,000 pounds without the box in the back, and with the box, which weighs a couple thousand pounds, you're looking at 12 to 15K. And you're actually able to drive this with a Class C license. Just the regular driver's license allows you to drive up to 2,600 or 26,000 pounds. So this, you know, the 12,000 pounds plus all your stuff in the back, if it's less than 26,000 pounds, then you're good to drive. Put this in drive, and here we go. Is there a parking brake?
That one right there, air brake. That one gets pushed in. That one's the air brake.
Solid. And we're off, boys. This might be the slowest steering ratio. Oh my God. What an experience. We're getting like a lot of shakes and judges. I'm guessing because the suspension is relatively stiff because it's accounting for having stuff in the back.
Yes.
You're actually getting a lot of body motion, more so than I expected, but I think that's again because we're super light right now. And that's why these seats having their own suspension makes it a lot more comfortable. Dude, steering ratio, I need to turn it so many times. Look at that. Look at that. Alright, so the brakes, they're air brakes. So they're really not linear. So trying to get it to stop smoothly is, okay. A bit of a learning curve. Can I give it the beans? Yeah, so the brakes, like, you don't really get anything, and then all of a sudden it's like very logarithmic. It's a little bit harder to stop smoothly. Dude, this is so cool. This is an experience. Never thought I'd be driving and reviewing a moving truck on this channel. Everything has such long throws and like is so large. Like even the turn signal, you have to move it like 2 inches to the side to get it to actually indicate. The steering is hydraulically assisted. Super light. No feedback, guys. What do you expect? It's not a sports car. Trying to get you to point A to point B with all your cargo in a safe way. Yeah, I find myself actually you have to like kind of lean forward if you want to touch the top of the wheel because it's so far away from you. This is me leaning back and I can barely reach. All right, so we're gonna turn left here. Last time I drove this, I drove it for like 100 yards near my house. I was wearing sandals. It was so hard to be smooth on the brakes. I think today wearing proper shoes makes it a little bit easier. Because you push a little bit, you don't get anything, and then all of a sudden you get a lot. So, a bit of a learning curve. Right or left?
Right. Be a little bit easier.
Oh, there's the problem with the brakes again. Dude, this is surprisingly stiff. Not what I was expecting. How does the driving change when you have this loaded up with cargo?
You can't go fast at all. You cannot step on it. If you brake, your cargo pushes you forward and you can crash. So you can't step on it, you gotta go a lot slower.
So you're going below the speed limit on most roads, taking turns?
Most roads, yes. Taking the turns really slow.
Are you ever concerned about tipping it by turning too fast?
When there's a lot of sand and when the ground is wet, man, that's when the truck feels like it's gonna flip. So when we see dirt or anything on the ground, we take those turns really slow. That is a big problem here in Vegas. You and I know that every time it rains, there's always a bunch of sand everywhere, man. So when we do a turn, it feels like it's gonna flip. It slides.
Giving it the beans.
Get the beans.
Wow, I guess diesel engines, this thing has a red light at 2,600 RPM. That's insane. That's so low.
When you're driving it past 45, put on OD, and you put that to go fast, to go when you're going uphill, alright?
Yeah, it's hard to tell the length of this too. So even changing lanes, you're like, well, do I have the space? Don't want to hit someone.
That's the main thing.
A learning curve to that too.
The main focus is once your back tires past the area you're trying to turn out, that's when you can turn.
Okay, so I gotta go straight a little bit here.
You gotta go straight a bit and then turn. Once you see your back tires clear the space in the back, you're clear.
So OD is overdrive.
Yes.
So it's a 6-speed transmission, but
I always leave it on overdrive.
okay.
When I'm going uphill, I use power. Or when I'm really heavily loaded.
So what's power versus loaded? What is that?
I'm leaving it to save myself some fuel, to be able to get more miles per gallon. All right. Right here, power. To make it a little bit faster, man. It gives you more strength. It opens it up. The turbo opens up a little bit more. And it helps you out. So
it doesn't change the shift logic or the gearing. It just changes the engine. It allows you to have a more. You think the turbos get changed a little bit?
Yeah, it helps it out so it could go a little bit faster and go up hills a little bit quicker and everything.
Yeah, this truck technology and diesel is super foreign to me. There's so much body motion even over these small imperfections of the road. I'm really surprised by that. It's way stiffer and just
There's a spot on the 215, man. When I'm driving, the truck is literally just bouncing like this.
Yeah, it's so nervous over the bumps is the way it feels. Driving this requires way more concentration than anything else I've driven. Did you ever consider getting a stick shift version of these?
I have a stick shift version. That was my original. I prefer stick. But drivers don't know how to drive stick. And they mess up the clutch. They mess everything up, man. So yeah, I cannot have stick.
I guess there's a lot more. It's a lot easier to mess things up when you're driving a truck that's loaded with stuff with a manual transmission.
Correct. It's harder. They just don't know how to shift it right, man. They don't take care of it.
Is this screen aftermarket?
Aftermarket, man.
Jeez, started rolling. Oops. Yeah, these brakes, man, you really gotta. For me right now, I really gotta think about braking. It is not a natural process.
Correct. When I changed from this truck driving my personal vehicle, my wife hates me.
What's the top speed of this thing?
73.
73.
It's governed, and we're able to remove it if we want, but I'm okay. Drivers don't know how to take care of it. vehicles.
Yeah, man, 73 and this thing seems plenty quick.
Yep.
Sounds pretty sketch. Yeah, wow, the steering is like, it's so light and it feels like disconnected because even when I wiggle it like this, it just is still going straight. It's a super slow ratio, so to make this turn, I'm gonna have to like, you know, really crank at it. The most out of left field vehicle I've ever reviewed on this channel. What do you guys think? Would you want to drive one of these? This is actually quite an interesting experience. A thick ass bench too. This bench is super wide. You can probably fit like 2 people. Yeah,
Definitely.
designed like that.
It's designed for 2 people.
Got an armrest. This cover to soften it because it's like a very hard plastic.
Yes, it's really hard plastic, man. There's no grip to the steering wheel. It's just all laced.
All right, we are getting on the highway in a moving truck. This makes me feel like I was in high school again when I'm taking my driver's exam and you're like, oh my God, I gotta focus, kind of nervous.
Got a cop right next to you. Merge in properly.
I don't think that's a cop, just a Ford Explorer.
Ford Explorer?
Yeah.
I see them all the time.
Woohoo!
I got ticketed by a Ford Explorer without no tags there. A couple months ago.
Oh, dude, look at this thing just like bop, 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 bop. We're getting porpoising. It's like a Formula One car. Yeah, I also want to keep a lot of distance to the cars in front because these brakes do not inspire any confidence in me, at least right now. I'm sure when you drive it, it just feels very natural. You can hop from your pickup truck to this, and it's very smooth, I'm sure.
Let's see the that.
All right, let's give it the beans.
Yeah, and then here, I'm gonna turn this on already.
All right, I'm going flat out right now.
All right.
Is this all power?
Yeah. See the
Oh, wow.
speed's going up. Not that much, but it does help out.
Almost at 65. I'm going flat out still. We're just crossing 65. $67, 68. Still going flat out. Almost at 70. Woohoo! There we go. Having this much visibility is kind of wild. Like I can see everything from here.
Yep.
I can even look into the homes in the backyards over there. I'm way up high. It's nice you have these 2 or 3 mirrors on each side at different like concavity or convexity rather to show you quite a lot in your blind spots. I feel like there's a lot of drivers on the road that need that technology too, even in their little CUVs and sedans that can't check their blind spots properly.
Very good, Kevin.
Oh my God. Like the brakes don't feel consistent either. I feel like I'm pressing it and then sometimes it'll lighten up and I need to press it more.
My trick, when I see I'm gonna start braking, I just put my foot on it, I let it rest, and then I just squeeze it just a bit, and I just like tap it, love tap it.
Because there's also a little bit of like a disconnect, so I'll press it harder and then it brakes too much, then I let go of it, then it lets go too much, and it's just hard to modulate these brakes. Eight liters. Oh my God. Just the numbers alone are kind of crazy. An 8-liter, 6-cylinder engine, so more than 1 liter per cylinder. Turbo diesel with 550 pound-feet of torque and 220 horsepower. With a red line of like 2,600. That just, the numbers just seem so out of this world. Not what I'm used to driving performance vehicles mostly. So this is your cruise control. It's like a switch right here.
Yep. That's cruise cruise control.
Display brightness. This AC is blowing super cold. That's nice.
Yep.
Super cold. You can like watch whatever you want on this.
What I do normally, I put all my stops on my phone. I put it on Google Maps, and it takes me from one location to the other without me having to retype anything in.
So you use this for Google Maps?
Google Maps and Spotify, man.
Nice. And then when you stop for a break, you can like watch something on Netflix if you want.
I can't. I haven't. I need to buy that little device that like jailbreaks that pretty much.
Ah, so this is restricted for safety reasons.
Yes.
That's good. That's good.
But I already put like a $3,000 system in here, man. I don't want like that's an additional.
That's 3,000.
That was about 1,000. You got Rockport clinch right here. You got 4 speakers, 2 in the front, and you got a 10-inch subwoofer with 2 amps on the bottom, dude.
Oh damn, dude, you're having a good time in this.
Dude, I'm in here up to 16 hours a day sometimes, man.
16 hours.
That's like my worst day.
It's the grind, kids. That's how you be successful. At least you're like 30 years old, right?
30 years old, man.
Yeah. Gotta hustle. All right, back on the highway?
Yes, sir.
Power! It's flat out, boys.
Feels a little bit different when you start off from power and overdrive, right?
Yeah, man. Starting from that lower speed, you get a lot more acceleration. It really dies off once you get to highway speed. But getting up to 60 miles an hour, a lot faster. I feel like I'm so high up. Like if I use this, I'm gonna block the road. This visor. Am I able to get the seat lower?
Yeah, left hand. Bring it down.
Oh, wow, that's way better. I should have done that from the beginning. I didn't realize. Yeah, okay, that's a lot better already. It's so bizarre because you feel the chassis moving and twisting and all, juddering, and then you also have the seat moving up and down with you with each of the bumps, so you're really floating. It's a very bizarre experience. It almost feels like a simulation of some sort. It feels like you're gone to the amusement park and you're like, the steering it feels disconnected, the seat is kind of moving in unpredictable ways. I feel like I'm at Boomers doing one of their, those things that kind of move all around. The whole steering ratio being slow is even more exaggerated right now because I got out of my G08E-WU, which has a super fast steering ratio. And just this, like on that little off ramp, I really have to crank it 90 degrees just to make that, which is kind of wild.
You getting the braking down, Kevin?
Still not super smooth, but it's getting a little bit better. But yeah, when you first start driving, you feel kind of nervous. You feel like, oh my God, I gotta check my blind spots. There's that learning curve and there's that level of increased focus, whereas now, we drive very automatic. And driving this truck, I feel I'm getting that same sensation again, where it's like I need to think so much of everything, the movements, the blind spots, the size of the truck. Such a fascinating experience. It's fun. It's fun in that way because it really forces you to focus and think. And that's it, boys and girls. Let me know what you think. 2016 Toyota Hino 268. Leave a comment down below. If you want your car reviewed, visit us on jubbalandcars.com. Fill out the form on the homepage. Much love. See you all in that next one.
All right. There you go.
Boom, boom, boom.